Hey everybody! I know I get one question all the time in my lives, and that's why is Ruby wearing a muzzle? So I wanted to come on and give a quick explanation and give a bit more context. So I'll start with saying thank you so much for asking the question. As a die-hard dog lover, I myself would probably ask the same thing with an obvious goal of wanting to make sure that, as we see with lots of dogs online, we don't know if they're truly happy and safe. And so I wanted to provide some reassurance on that, and then also say thank you again for asking the question. So in terms of history, Ruby is a rescue pup. I got her when she was about 5 months old, and although I don't know all of the details of her start, I do know some of it, and it's not the greatest. The first thing I know is that she was taken from a reservation and removed from her mother as a very tiny puppy. And then shortly after, her siblings that were rescued with her all died of parvo. So she was on her own, pretty isolated as a very tiny baby. Thankfully, she survived, but through a process of really poor understanding and misguidance, the carer that had her isolated her, I believe with a goal of ensuring she didn't catch parvo, but actually what happened was she was put in a cupboard with minimal exposure to light, to noise, and no socialization whatsoever with puppies or dogs or people or anything like that. When I rescued her, she was terrified and needed months of veterinary treatment for various illnesses, fleas, worms, giardia, you name it, we had it. And so it was several months before we could even begin the process of trying to teach her any social skills, purely because her health came first. Once we did start, I got help from a behaviourist and various different trainers, and we tried to gently teach Ruby that the world isn't something to be scared of. I don't know how much of this fear is from genetics versus being her rescue versus what went on that I don't know about. But what I can say is it's been a tough ride, just feeling responsible for her happiness and questioning myself all the time of, am I doing something wrong? Is she really happy? What can I do to make it better? I'm just thankful that I have a network of really supportive people, both in real life and online. And I'm committed to doing a lot of research and trying to support her as best as I can. I know that this is not something that's going to be fixed. It's going to be an ongoing process of helping her grow, and that's okay. I committed to that when I took her on, and to me, she is perfect. And all of this is really not about changing her, but it's about helping her be as happy as she can be. With the rough start that she had, excuse the pun, one of the outcomes is that she hasn't learnt the right social skills when it comes to other dogs. And she gets on great with Hannah and Jack, and they play daily. But sometimes when she's had enough, or if someone gets in her bubble a bit too much, she will overcorrect. Does that mean she's aggressive? I don't believe it does, but it does mean that she can sometimes tell them off a bit too sternly than she really means to. So rather than have then a difficult dynamic within the dogs, I have added the muzzle to the picture only when they're really playing rough or when I'm slightly distracted, like when I'm doing a live, just to ensure that if there is an overcorrection, it doesn't really do any major damage. You'll also notice that she has a great fondness for the pool, and part of that is her fondness for chasing the pool hose and trying to bite on it. And so the muzzle prevents her from doing any damage to the hose, and more importantly, it prevents her from swallowing any plastic that she might manage to catch. So all round, this is keeping everyone safe. It's important to note that this muzzle is only ever worn for a couple of hours at a time. It's not something that we use permanently, and the majority of the time when it's just me and the dogs, it's not used at all. And you'll see this in many of our videos that I've posted online already. It's also important to note that when we decided to use the muzzle, I got veterinary advice, trainer advice, and we spent a long time conditioning her to it rather than just slapping it on and hoping for the best. So she feels very comfortable in it, I believe. She'll often get it for me and ask for it to be put on because she knows that then she can go in the pool or something fun is going to happen. And she can definitely drink, eat, swim safely, pant in the heat, and even play with toys. So it doesn't really prohibit her from having a good time. It's also important to state that the plan is for this to not be a forever tool. Right now we're using it because it works and it gets us through some challenging situations safely. We know that Jack is going to calm down. We know that Ruby is learning skills. We know that this is a tool that, eventually we hope to remove. Just like with Hannah, Ruby plays perfectly, and with some of her other dog friends, she's fine. So we will continue to work with trainers and seek advice all of the time, but ultimately the goal is to have 3 happy, healthy dogs which they are right now, and to continue that for the rest of their lives. In terms of our online presence, I did question whether this was a good idea, because I know there's controversial thoughts and opinions about this, and I decided that the reality is that they're my dogs, first of all. I know that they're happy. I get lots of positive reinforcement myself from the vets and the trainers that say I'm doing all of the right things. And ultimately, whenever you rescue dogs, you deal with various challenges. It's not like it seems to be on those Instagram reels where you rescue a dog and it's perfect all of the time. To be clear, my dogs are perfect, but we still deal with challenges because it's real life. And I'd rather share the highs and the lows and the education that I'm learning behind it and bring you along for this positive, fun ride that we're on than not do it because we're afraid of what someone might say about the muzzle. Ultimately, I hope the videos speak for themselves. We have a great time. They're very happy, they're very loved, and they have a forever home here with me. So thank you again for the questions and for the support and the encouragement. It means a lot, and hope to see you soon in one of our next lives.